Here we go.
And we're live.
We're live.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. Tucker and the Beard back again for the new year. With our first movie review of the new year, and we brought along some special guests, our kids.
Yes.
This is Judah.
And Colin.
So they are both big Spider-Man fans as well, so we brought them to the movies with us.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, we went and saw Into the Spiderverse.
Yes.
Which was... I had a good time.
I did have a good time. We did not... Listen, I'm going to be honest because I think neither one of us was expecting it to be as busy as it was.
Right?
And you sat in the back.
I did. Against the wall.
And I sat in the very front.
Yeah, you sat in the neck break seats.
Yeah. So it's a different perspective.
For sure.
On this movie. So
but it was a pretty solid film. I'm excited to dive into it and hear what the boys have to say about it.
Definitely. So,
not that we didn't bring our girls.
Yes.
Just so everyone's clear.
There's just an X number of
There's
seats.
only 4 microphones, and these 2 are the biggest fans out of all of the kids.
Yes.
So, yeah, let's jump right in. Judah, what did you think of the movie in general? Like, how did you? What was your feelings about the film?
It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part about it?
The end.
So, spoiler alert, maybe. The end is the best part. What about the end? It's like when it was finally over and I didn't have to be there anymore.
That was great.
No, what about the end? Was it just exciting? Was it just what was it to you that made that so awesome?
It was just good.
It was just good.
Let's turn some volume down.
Yeah, let's do that thing.
Sorry. I was wondering where that was coming from.
As we're streaming live, we are bringing in, we're bringing on questions. So if you have anything you want to say, feel free.
Yeah. Or don't.
Or don't.
Your choice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, yo. My wife is watching.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Say hi to your mom.
Say hi, Mom.
Hey.
Hey, he's very monosyllabic today.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Colin, what were your thoughts? What was your overarching opinion of the movie?
I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I really liked the characters. Thought the story was really good.
Well, I know that we've been kind of talking since we watched it and everything, and I know your mom brought up a question which has been plaguing my mind and would like to get the 2 of your input on it. She asked, was it the best Spider-Man movie?
No.
Okay.
Quick reaction.
Yeah. No, I dig it, though.
Speaking,
that's the most honest reaction.
Yeah.
Colin,
speaking of your mom.
You can say hi to your mom.
Oh. Okay. I'm joking.
Nice.
Hi, Mom.
Kids are awesome.
I know. Just be like, okay.
All right.
Whatever.
So yeah, what's your reaction to that question?
Would you say that it was the best Spider-Man movie that you've seen? Which you've seen all of them.
Yes. I would say yes. Movie-wise, yes.
Movie-wise, yes. Okay.
We're taking
It's
off to
close.
You. It's close.
It's
okay.
Close. For me, it's right up there with the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
You know I have a special place in my heart for Tobey Maguire.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people do, but that was the first movie incarnation of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
More or less.
Well, the first half-decent one, at least.
I mean, I am a big fan of this movie. I really enjoyed what they did with it. Can I say it's my favorite Spider-Man movie? No, but it was I think one of my things is it's a different incarnation of Spider-Man. I think we should get it kind of into the plot.
Kind of. It is and it isn't at the same time. Because this clearly takes place in the universe parallel to...
Right. It doesn't happen on this Earth.
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
And I just realized we did not give any kind of thing of what this movie is about other than Spider-Man.
It's really hard to give. I mean, essentially, you're looking at it's Spider-Man from, what was it, 5?
6.
6 different dimensions.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's
and
animated.
The dimensions.
Yeah, new animated
Yeah, it's a
full-length feature film. Actually, just won the Golden Globe the other night for best animated.
I guess if we're gonna review
feature
movies,
film.
I should start paying attention to that stuff.
Just saying, tis the season.
It is. It is
Tis
award
the award
season.
Yeah. The animation was amazing.
It was really, really cool. I thought the way that they animated it, because they used a very unique visual style with it.
Yeah, there was a couple points. That's mine. Just turning off.
Okay.
There was some cool animation. Every once in a while, it kind of had like a 3D look
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. You're on it.
Yeah, it had a cool look to it overall. It was very stylized. You know, it looked exactly like you would want a moving comic book to look, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it was, if I could picture an actual comic book coming alive, that's almost exactly what this film would look like.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
And they use like actual techniques that they used in comic books to save ink. For example, with the shading, they use like dots and lines, which was a technique to save ink back when like comics first started.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, that's
pretty
why
cool.
you know, especially the older vintage comics. You get real close and look at them; everything is
just
stippled
dots.
in there, and that was so it would use less ink, so they could save money and print more books.
Well, it's at the beginning, before the movie even started, they did the Marvel credits and everything. But one of the first things, and I haven't checked this since, but I'm fairly certain this is the first movie ever to have the comic book code of approval,
I think you're right.
and that started it off in a really, really cool.
Yeah, it was really, I mean, from start to finish, they really catered to every generation of comic book fan that there could be.
Yeah. And like just like superhero fan.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
definitely. And there's a lot of different incarnations of the character that have been in the comics that I'm not so familiar with, but I was able to quickly
Well, yeah,
catch
and,
up.
You know, it was just everything that you want a comic book movie to be, in my opinion. Like, and that's why for me, there is always going to be a special place in my heart and soul for the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man film.
Right.
And that is and remains my favorite Spider-Man film to date.
Right. Well, and it even...
But there were even scenes from that they copied, and when they later in the movie when they pull up to Aunt May's house, it's that house from that film.
Right. And
You know,
it
so
was...
the Peter B or the Peter Parker
from
that is that Peter Parker. It's from that universe or
from
dimension
ours
as it
or
were.
whatever. Yeah. Yeah, it was really, really cool, and they did little clips for little acknowledgement things to anyone that had watched the Tobey Maguire movies, that it was, you know, him on the subway, you know, holding it back, or the dancing scene from Spider-Man 3.
And
It was that great.
Yeah.
and
that
how
was
we
amazing.
don't talk about that.
Yeah.
You know. Hey Daryl, thanks for watching with us.
Thanks.
There was just some really cool nods to all of the really from every Spider-Man movie that they've made
Okay.
was acknowledged.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought was cool.
Yeah.
You know, there were even the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield was referenced. All of them were referenced really well and really cleanly, and I thought that was really very tastefully done.
When was the Andrew Garfield one referenced?
When Peter Parker there was the scene where he was trying to save her from falling down the tower. And
that it showed.
it
Yeah,
was,
that
it was brief,
on
but it
my,
was there. There
yeah.
were so many Easter eggs in this movie.
From comics to movies to everything like that. But yeah, that was one of my favorite ones where he's like, and I even did this, and he was dancing down the sidewalk, and he's like, we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Judah, have you seen those Spider-Man movies?
No.
You haven't seen
Yeah,
the
you have. You've
good
seen
Tobey
all of
Maguire
them.
one? When he's dancing?
Black Spider-Man in the black suit the first Venom
Yeah.
and the Sandman and all that. That's a movie that we don't talk about too much.
Hey, it is okay for what it is.
No.
And it's not as bad as the third Godfather movie, so it's got that going for it.
That's true. That's true.
So so we had 6 different dimensions. We had Ultimate Spider-Man, who was kind of...
We were in the movie takes place in the... Is it calling the Ultimate Universe? Or is that what it...
Yes, it takes place in the Ultimate Universe where Miles Morales is from.
Okay, but there was the Peter Parker that we're introduced to.
Yeah. First,
yeah.
You know,
so
at the very beginning of the movie, when the story begins, it is, and it gets really confusing. So try and keep up.
Right. There's a lot of different versions.
You won't be chastised if you can't, because it's really hard to keep up with. Because the movie opens in Peter Parker's universe.
Right.
So basically, the beginning of the movie is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Right. Played by America's sweetheart, Jake Johnson.
Yeah.
Well,
so I have to...
Wait, when it first opens, that Spider-Man is the one from the Ultimate Universe that...
The one that goes throughout the whole thing, because he kind of narrated it and said...
Yeah.
No, the one...
Oh, that was the one that was in... That's right, before the other one gets...
Oh yeah. Well, it starts for a couple of minutes, yeah, and then
he won that one.
He absolutely did, and then it jumps into Peter Parker that we're familiar with, and then jumps from there to Miles Morales, and that's where most of the story takes place.
And it's a really cool...
what we see.
Yeah, really cool origin story for Miles Morales, because I'm not so familiar with that version. You know, from
that universe is not something I'm super familiar with either.
Right. Now I'm a fan of Miles Morales, and I've heard people talk about Miles Morales as, you know, I almost said Superman. There's too many mans. Spider-Man. Yeah. And I know that you and I have had conversations about Miles Morales because you've come up and talked to me about Miles Morales. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a moment to talk about Miles Morales?
He leaves the house, comes back, and knocks on the door.
But I mean, and then from there is where it kind of puns somewhat intended spider webs.
Wow, it weaves a web.
You know, so we have our main villain, who I thought was a really cool portrayal of the Kingpin.
Yeah, I know we had heard some different things, and I don't know, different versions of Kingpin, but some people didn't like it in this movie, and I thought it was a good place to go with it. You get introduced to other villains throughout the movie, but...
Yeah, but you don't often see Kingpin and Spider-Man together. Kingpin
not
is
in
more...
the movies, right.
You know, I mean, because Spider-Man is from Queens.
Right.
And the Kingpin largely resides in and around Hell's Kitchen. So he's more of a Daredevil villain.
Right.
Even though, you know, it's a quick trip up on the A-line into through Manhattan to get up from the two neighborhoods.
Logistics.
Yeah.
But, you know, you don't often see the Kingpin venturing into Spider-Man's jurisdiction so much.
I was trying to think of some spider pun there, and I know you were too, but I couldn't think of it.
I couldn't get there. But so that's what I thought was cool, was bringing in a non-typical Spider-Man villain. Mm-hmm. There were and 2 of them, really.
Right.
And you see all of them.
I was going to say, there's
at one point or another. Not all of them. It's almost
I believe
impossible.
there were 5 or 6 villains, because there was Kingpin, Tombstone,
the Prowler.
Yeah, Prowler, Scorpion, Dr. Octavius, and then I think there was 5.
Well, Green Goblin shows up for a little bit.
Was it Hammerhead?
No, the henchman to Kingpin, that was a Tombstone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I stand corrected again.
Come on, this is why we brought the kids in here.
I know, I'm just going to leave.
Because
just take over.
We're too old to keep it all straight.
I know.
These sharp young minds have a better time at that. For me, I love, there was a nice mix of nostalgia and new stuff.
Yes.
And that's what I thought was really great.
I thought there was a lot of nostalgia for, you know, us, and then it threw in the different, you said there were 6 different, I can't remember.
There were 6 heroes, 6 villains.
Okay.
So, a lot of 6.
And there was ones that I wasn't
Sinister
that I'd heard of, but not really, because there was Spider-Man Noir.
Voiced by...
Nicolas Cage.
Who
In his best job in a long time.
perfect casting.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the best film Nick Cage has been in this decade. There, I said it.
Did National Treasure come out this decade?
No, it was
Nope.
more 90s.
Okay, then.
Oh. So we're big national. We watched that movie, didn't we?
It's just his quality has not been so keen.
It has
over
not
the
been
last few
Con
years.
Air,
No.
Face Off, Gone in 60 Seconds in quite some time.
No, it has not.
Yeah.
No, but there was Spider-Man manga, is it?
Penny Parker.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Penny Parker.
Penny Parker, and then
We had
was
Peter Porker.
Peter Porker. I
Which-
was gonna say that was the big one.
Spider-Ham.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spider-Ham, and then Peter Parker.
We had Peter Parker, Peter B. Parker, Miles Morales.
And Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, and
And
Spider-Man.
Spider-Gwen.
So there was
That was
a
one
lot.
of the best ones too.
Oh, yeah.
She was certainly a really cool character to bring in.
Yeah.
Out of all the Spider-Man, which one was your favorite, man?
The first one,
The first one, Miles or Peter?
Peter.
Peter. He was
Keeping it
funny.
Traditional.
He was funny.
Yeah.
Was it when he's like, I was out, protecting the city, and it's him like laying in bed eating a pizza or something before he. I thought that was pretty fun. There was a lot of
because Peter
laugh out loud
Parker
moments.
let himself go a little bit.
yeah, like a lot.
He and MJ had a falling out.
What did you say? He'd been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah, because
he's been Spider-Man for 20 years.
Yeah.
which is a long time to be anything really.
Yeah, and it was like
To be
his
honest.
marriage is falling apart.
Yeah.
Like he's living in this like one room apartment.
He was
Just slumming
single.
it.
He was single camera sitcom Peter Parker.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
who that one was.
And just perfect casting by Jake Johnson. And
Oh, yeah.
I know
Mhm.
your
He-
mom, big fan of Jake Johnson. So,
It was, I mean, all in all, I'm trying to think of ways that it, I not that we don't crap on movies on a regular basis here.
No, but-
at Tucker and the Beard, but it's not very often that a movie comes away with nothing but praise.
Yeah,
and I couldn't find anything wrong with this movie.
no, the only thing I think I left with, and I said it right afterwards because I asked you, because I didn't know if it was from where I was sitting or if it was the actual movie where there was certain hint, like,
Yeah,
you know when you were
go
watching
to a 3D showing,
no, when
but it almost looked like we did. In
right,
some
like when you
scenes.
take your glasses off and it's fuzzy, like it's
Yeah.
in 3D. Every once in a while there was a scene like that, and it kind of bugged me. But it wasn't enough. Like it was for a brief second, and then it
Yeah.
kind of moved on. But there was a lot of laugh out loud moments.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of good humor.
Yeah. Lot brought on by Spider-Man Noir by Nicolas Cage.
Oh yeah,
But-
and I thought that was he might have been my favorite little.
well,
He might have been my favorite alternate Spider-Man.
yeah, for
Like Spider-Gwen was really cool,
yeah,
and Spider-Pig was funny.
yeah. He brought a lot of humor
and then
to
you
it.
had the two Peter Parkers, and like all of those were good, but it was for some reason that one was kind of my favorite.
Yeah. When it was like when he was. It's my camera again. You're welcome. No, when you first meet Spider-Man Noir, he's in the spider cave
Yeah.
kind of thing, and it's what was it? The wind, like his cape was blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
I think they
His, like,
called him
trench
out on
coat.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no capes.
And there's like, how is there? We're inside. How is there even wind? And he's like, where I go, the wind follows. It's like, what?
Yeah.
And then another one of my I loved the spider cave under Aunt May's house.
Yeah, and that she was like the
Yeah.
Alfred, if you will. To,
Yeah, she was.
you know,
Yeah, she played kind of that Alfred Pennyworth role too.
that she made the inventions and stuff like that.
And in her universe, where she has all this cool, is the one where Peter has died
Yes.
trying to defeat the Kingpin, which is kind of
Deleted.
falls in line with the plot of the movie,
Right.
which is hard to describe, but wasn't hard to follow while you were watching it.
No, and it was kind of emotional, even though you knew that there was other
Things that
characters
were
going
gonna
on.
go
Like
on.
Spider-Man died. Like
Yeah, and then like they could have just like left it on that scene, and it kind of be tough, but like all those memorials for Peter Parker and Spider-Man and
Right, that he had died.
Yeah.
it was a lot.
Yeah. So for as funny as it was, there was some emotional moments of Miles kind of growing into his origin and
Yeah.
kind of figuring his life out.
Yeah, and then we had for some reason his real name is escaping me, but Donald Glover, voicing the Prowler.
Was he the voice of the Prowler?
I'm fairly positive.
Yeah.
I saw that. Because he was originally tapped to be Miles Morales.
Well,
and they ended up going a different direction for some
okay, because
reason.
he played that role in Spider-Man:
Or
Homecoming.
maybe that's what. No, I think he
Yeah.
voiced him as well. I'll have to look it up. I could be wrong, but I was
be
reading
the first
some
one.
other blogs, and I thought that came up that he voiced him as well.
Okay.
But that was a fun character that you just don't see very often.
No.
And even in Homecoming, he wasn't.
It was like a
Like-
nod to.
Yeah, it was more of a homage. He wasn't a main role, and in this one he definitely.
But he talked
was.
about his nephew or
Mhm.
something in the movie, which everybody knew was
Yeah,
Yeah.
Miles Morales.
Miles Morales. So
Or your
so
kid
now
tells
you have some family strife there,
Right.
between villain and hero, as it were.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Which. Never mind. Yeah.
And for me, I think one of the reasons we all have our favorite heroes and villains, for sure. The Kingpin is a villain that I love watching getting bested.
Yeah.
Like I cheer a little louder on the inside when somebody takes out Kingpin than I
Right.
do like when Peter takes out the Green Goblin.
Right.
Because I think that the Kingpin is such a jerk that he deserves it more. Like the other ones are bent on greed or
Yeah.
they're bent on revenge. They all have their
He's
individual
just-
motives. He's just a bad guy.
He's just a bad guy that wants money.
Yeah.
And wants to take out Spider-Man / Daredevil or
Or
anything like
whomever
that.
comes across
Right.
his path.
Yeah. I thought it was a really good choice to do, Kingpin and to show him going up against there. But, usually it's when he's portrayed, it's in, whether you want to talk about it or not, Michael Clark Duncan is Kingpin and Ben Affleck's Daredevil. He brought it. R.I.P.
He did well.
R.I.P.
Not my favorite Kingpin.
I didn't say that either because the new
Vincent
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio is the best Kingpin.
Yeah, why they haven't brought him into movies yet? But I thought it was a good choice. I mean, you can only
Well, we'll see what happens after Endgame comes out because they're gonna have to go different directions.
could be the
cinematically. Well,
Game.
if there's one thing that we know for sure, Disney's not going to stop this cash machine from
it's
from spitting out
continuously
dollar bills.
going.
They're going to keep giving us Marvel movies
Continuously
until
going.
we stop going to see them.
yeah,
So it's just a question of where they're going to go after Endgame.
yeah.
And so maybe we will see some big screen adaptations,
That'd be cool.
from the alternate universes that they're building, on the streaming platforms.
Right.
I think we're gonna start seeing those have to come into big screen adaptations.
Oh, you'd have to kind of because if you watch those at all, they do reference them,
Yeah.
the movies, but they don't kind of go into it. Judah, what's your favorite Spider-Man movie?
Thanks for keeping it on topic.
You're welcome.
It's all one topic.
It's all one topic.
It's all one
Marvel.
topic.
So
What's your favorite Spider-Man movie?
The first one.
The first one?
with Tobey Maguire,
Yeah.
where he first
Where
gets
he's-
his power, the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's cool. I like that one.
Yeah. How did you guys like the adaptations of the different villains in the Ultimate Universe?
I thought it was pretty cool, just a different version of Doc Ock, and
Yeah, I mean, we had
because it was his daughter. Was his daughter?
I think it was just like,
Just a female version of it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because there was definitely, just a female Doc Ock. Some
Hey,
of them...
women can be villains too.
Absolutely. Be your bad selves. So for me, what I found interesting with some of them is I'm admittedly not an anime fan of any sort.
Yeah.
And some of they were just kind of flashing some of the villains on the screen, almost in the same way in the Disney Hercules. And he's fighting the different villains throughout the movie.
All right.
It was more of in montage format.
Right, of them fighting.
And a couple of those were a bit too anime-esque for my taste. But I still thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, Tasha. What's going on?
Hi.
What's up?
So,
We're good.
wrapping up,
Yes.
because it's about that time.
That's about that time.
It's a school
Seriously?
night.
That is
Yeah.
a school night.
It's a school night.
Yeah, we're already there.
See? I
Absolutely.
have so
good.
much more I want to talk about.
I know, because it's that good of a movie.
Spit it out, man.
Well, I was going to say,
feel
well,
free.
I know the one
Okay.
thing
We're
that
going to go around the table now,
Yeah, I know.
and you're going to give us your overall impression of the movie.
Okay.
Yes.
First of
Go.
all, like the Sony placement. Like
As you're
all-
even doing right now.
Yeah, all the headphones in the movie were Sony headphones,
Didn't
which
notice that.
were like blatantly obvious, and that's like the best thing about Sony movies
There's
is
some
just
good music in there, too.
oh
It
yeah,
did have a pretty
Like-
thumping soundtrack, yeah.
I've played it a couple times. Again,
Not mad at it at all.
no, not at
Yeah.
all.
the soundtrack was
So-
really good.
When I say the one thing that we were talking about that we wanted to do, that I'm going to remind you of, you and I have both played, but you more so, I'll give you credit, played the Spider-Man PlayStation video game. Yes. Which you had commented that there was a lot of the Spider-Man suits, because there's a bunch of different versions of Spider-Man, but the Spider-Man suit, there was some from the game.
There were quite a few. Like it's kind of funny because unless it was like directly from the movie or like the character interacted with them, for example, the Spider-Man suit with the cape, like that's not. But you can tell they played the game because all the suits in the background were from the game, and some were like the actual Insomniac suit.
Which I think is just a cool way to just throw it in
Tie
there.
everything
reference.
together, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool that they paid homage to all of his suits that you've seen in the movies too,
Well,
in one way or another. I thought that
Yeah.
was really cool. There were so many Easter eggs. You could probably watch this movie 4 or 5 times.
oh yeah. Well, I
I had to
could easily-
force myself to just sit back and watch the movie and stop watching for Easter eggs.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Because I knew I would get wrapped up in it.
Well, and I know one. It's just speaking of homage, real quick, that I had to keep myself from breaking down, and my daughter, who was sitting next to me, was like, "Are you okay?" Was the 2 references to Stanley
Yeah.
that Stanley made a cameo in the movie. One of his last.
Yeah.
There is one in the end game.
There's one in Endgame. There's
But I
one
think
in
that's-
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And then-
But this one that he did do a cameo, and then at the end there was a little quote from
Yeah.
Stan Lee, and yeah, that was like
that was
keep it together,
Keep it together.
keep it together. It's a cartoon. Keep it
Yeah,
together.
and I think that this cameo was actually the Stan Lee cameo in this one was the best one.
Was he was a comic book?
He was
Store.
selling Spider-Man souvenirs.
Yeah,
yeah.
and was
That's
just talking about how awesome Spider-Man was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we'll do that, and then we'll go around and do our verdict.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that?
also, do you guys want to talk about the end credit scene? So,
Do we want to talk about the end credit scene?
I firmly believe that if you are going to experience the end credit scene, you have to earn it.
It's good. Stay
Yeah.
for after the credits.
if
Stay
you,
after the credits or find it on YouTube. It's worth seeing.
Yes.
yeah, if you haven't seen it, click off now.
No.
Not doing that. Okay.
No. Judah.
What was your... Tell us everything that's on your mind about the movie. What did you think about it? How did you like it?
I like the Spider Pig.
The Spider Pig. He was
That
funny.
was pretty funny.
It was very Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
What else? What else did you like about this movie?
It was just really good.
Yeah?
Would
A
you go
man
see it
of-
again?
Yeah.
Would you
Man
go
of
see it
few
again
words,
after
my
that?
son is.
What?
Would you just watch it again and again and again?
Definitely.
Nice.
Just on repeat.
Just on repeat
Yep.
till we go crazy.
Until somebody begs you to throw the disc out the window.
Please stop. All right, you.
For me, it's a definite go see if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm saying yes because I have.
You have already
gone and seen it, but yes.
Top notch across the board. Really, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes right down to it, this is one of the better comic book movies that has ever been made. There, I said it.
I'm going to agree with you and hit in on the point that you said it's the best comic book movie. Not comic book character, but it was because it was comic book approved.
Yeah.
So they followed all the guidelines. I fully enjoyed going and seeing it. It was a lot of cool versions of the thing. A lot of different versions of the
when it comes
Spider-Man.
out for.
Yeah. I'm going to find an
it's
excuse
available.
to go watch it again.
Probably.
So I'm going to grab the wife and go watch it again.
Yeah.
So I say go see it.
Yeah, it's a definite unanimous go see it from us.
Go see it.
Yes.
Go see it.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
There you have it.
Unanimous.
No, I
Unanimous.
disagree.
The
You guys.
whole spider clan up here.
Yeah.
Again,
Well,
trying to
nice.
think of some kind of spider pun.
Spider puns are
They're difficult.
they're more difficult than they seem.
Yeah.
Apparently, maybe our dad joke game just isn't on point today.
Maybe.
It's been a long couple of days.
Vacation.
So,
and
yeah, we're
sick
just coming
and-
back from vacation, so we're just kind of knocking the rust off a little
A
bit.
little bit. So
Well, boys, thank you so much for coming and
Thank you
hanging
very
out with
much.
us today, being a part of our little
Yeah.
show, and thank you guys for watching.
thank you very much.
We appreciate all the support you give us. Throw this a share. We'd really, really appreciate it if you help us spread the word.
Yeah.
And,
please. We got a lot of good stuff coming in. We filmed some stuff yesterday.
Yeah, we got a new episode of Cruising coming out on Friday evening.
Yep.
So that one will be really fun. We've got a lot of really fun stuff planned for 2019. So share the love with your friends.
Yeah.
That's all we ask.
So
Hope you have a wonderful day.
Till
Talk
next
to you
time.
soon. He's Tucker.
he's Beard.
We're out.